And we're live. Thank you very much for joining me for another episode of One Take because life has no rehearsal. Today, I am truly honored to introduce Sergio Lopes. Uh, Four things, but the fifth one will kill you. So, Sergio was VP of Ogilvy and Mather, one of the largest advertising agencies in the world. Then he was the managing director for Sony Music in Latin America. But there are two super surprising things. Sergio is the only person you've met in my podcast and probably in real life with a gold record of his own for Selena. And then now he owns a multinational branding company. And I'll let him explain more. But the fifth thing is amazing. Sergio is the only person you've met with two heart transplants. Two. So, Sergio, you are a unique individual in every which way. So, let's get on with it. You've had many professions, you've probably had many moments in your life. And like everybody, you never know that the moment is happening at that moment. But then you look back and you say, wow, yeah, okay, so that happened. What was that most important or single defining moment in your professional life that created the modern Sergio?
First of all, thank you very much, Marcelo, for you are a very good friend, and I respect you very much for your career as well. So we have this connection. About your question, I had a very defining moment, and I will minimize the speech because it's a long story. But I create a campaign. We had, when I was in Brazil, we had a very successful children's product called Turma de Balamagico, and we created. Even the name Turma de Balamagico I created, and but it was already very successful. So I was responsible for the marketing for the next one. Was a superstar already, and I had an idea that was very difficult to execute. So I came to my president of the company, Tomás Muñoz, was a very, very big personality. He told me, "Listen, this is too complicated. Forget about it." But I insisted, and he took a vacation. When he came back, everything was set. And I said, "Listen, everything is set. I didn't take your advice. Is very difficult, but I thought, okay, do it." And it was extremely well successful. So during the party that we have for Christmas with the company, he told, "Listen," in front of the company, he said, "Listen, this man, I told him not to do it, and but he did it anyway, and now we are experience this successful phase and end of the year. Don't you think he deserves to spend 1 month in any place in the world with everything paid by us?" And yeah, yeah, okay. He gave me a voucher to go to any place in the world with everything paid to spend 1 month. And uh, so that was, and I at that I think at that moment it was a Friday. So I'm going to China, which is the farthest way to go, and I've never had an opportunity to go to China. But in the end of the day, um, the manager of Playboy magazine invited me to a party. So I went to the party, and obviously there was a lot of beautiful women, and he introduced me to one that said, "Listen, this will be our centerfold of January. This is December, beginning of December." And I told her, "Listen, I just got 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago, a ticket to go to any place. Let's spend the New Year's Eve together." Just random thing. I don't even know the person. I just
Oh, man.
And she said, "Oh, this is a good idea. My birthday is December 31st. And okay, where do we want to go? I want to go to French Polynesia, Tahiti." So we did.
Wow.
And my point here is when you spend 32 days in Tahiti, there's a lot of time to think because there's not a lot of things to do, and which is a beautiful thing. But I was thinking in my hours, okay, what brought me to this situation is because the easiest thing to do was to tell my president, okay, you think it's too complicated? I don't do it. And I go to lunch. But the resilience to believe in something is so important that defines. So you are rewarded by the good ideas that you really make it happen. So
Yep.
the good ideas they are spared. There's no so you just you have a good idea, but you just don't use it. So that's the one. The second is I had a later on, more recently, very recently, I had an idea to do a project with the Beatles. And I said, I'm going to do a project with the Beatles. So they were, okay, okay, okay. So I managed to present this to the managing director of the Apple Records, which is the label of the. He said, yeah, okay, send me the materials. And, and I'm going to put you in, they meet once a month, and there's a business meeting. It's very brief, 1 hour and a half. And I'm going to put you on the voice, how to call voice. And so
Yeah.
I was here in Weston, where I live. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. They are in London. And I'm just listening, but I couldn't listen. Suddenly, Yoko Ono comes to the call. Sergio, why you want to change the covers, but the cover art? But I don't want to change the cover art. My project is rectangular and the covers are square. Um, and she said, I cannot talk. We cannot talk on the phone. Come next month to discuss this in person. So I did.
Wow.
And then it was very strange to meet with the Beatles at
And
noon
Yoko Ono.
in our office. It was Yoko, the son of George Harrison. George Harrison was deceased. Danny is the son. And Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr.
Wow. That's
Okay.
amazing, though.
And you cannot even ask for to take a picture because it's
Yeah.
just a close of it. Can I take a picture? But
Yeah.
no, so I am very shy to to share this conversation because people think I'm lying, and I don't like that. Anyways, they approved. They approved the project. I had $6.5 million in advance to offer to them. They refused right in front of me previously a $40 million advance for the project for cardboard process and a game and things like this. But no, we don't want it. Okay. From that experience, I had opportunity to stay in London, and I developed together. I participated in a project of the Beatles, Love, that became a Circo de Soleil, a play in Las Vegas, and I developed a relationship with the Beatles crew. So I had two projects approved. So again, the people at EMI Music at the time, for instance, don't mess with the people. Don't mess with Beatles because we just lost Radiohead, other artists. We don't want to have a problem with the Beatles. And suddenly, so sometimes I don't advise anybody to just to be against the grain all the time, and I don't think it's a good idea to have your trademark. I am the one that does everything different. This is a really bad. It's not a good trademark. But sometimes Sometimes when you think it's worth it, you have an idea, fight for that. So those in different times, different decades, those examples, I had more, but you represent the moments that I have the clearest, uh,
Clarity.
clarity. Thank you. The clarity to fight a little bit. So I believe in this idea, and that is the defining moment.
No, that's absolutely great. So really briefly, I mean, like people like us, we've seen like change all over, and the cliche is, the only thing that doesn't change is change. Blah blah blah. But tell me the one thing, one sentence of the one thing that changed in your life, whether professionally or in the industry, that in a zillion years you could have never even imagined that would change.
I didn't understand the question.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So, in looking back, what changed in your industry that you would have never imagined? For example, I'm just gonna. I don't want to taint your answer, but if I looked at the music industry, the one thing that changed that I found amazing is we don't own music anymore. Spotify, like nobody buys music. We have Spotify. We make playlists, and then the playlists are us, but we don't really own it. To me, that's a huge change because it really destroyed a huge amount of the industry, huge amount. There's other changes, like for example, oh my God, the guy who won so many Oscars, the composer. Oh my, and I,
Of music,
yeah,
the German guy.
yeah,
I know who this. I forgot his name again.
I forgot his name. So I've even talked to him for another client. He is now composing music for car companies for the sounds that go into the cars.
Yeah.
So like what single change you would say I would have never thought that that would happen?
Well, you mentioned Spotify. Daniel Heck, um, when he was only operating in Sweden, he had 60,000 subscribers. He asked me for help to enter Spotify in Latin America.
Oh wow,
This is 19 years ago. So he gave me a subscription. My Spotify subscription is 19 years old,
wow,
and so I tell you. And during the conversation, he told me, "Listen, we need." He was not in Finland, uh, um, Norway, you know,
yeah,
Denmark is just Sweden. And he wants to expand. He offered me, so give me $10,000 investment to help me to go to. And for that, I don't know what this company is. $10,000. I don't know. Okay, so I denied. This 2000 $10,000 today will be 25 millions.
wow. Okay, so that's pretty bad.
Okay,
So
okay, but the point is, uh, um, the the way opportunities pass in front of you, you have to cope with the things that you don't do, and you shouldn't develop a sense of guilty. It is what it is. Sometimes you are lucky, sometimes you're not, and keep going.
actually, and that's very, believe it or not, I think that's very profound. That you cannot develop a guilty sense of, oh my God, I didn't do this or whatever, because like you say, we've all seen opportunities that we wish we would have taken and we didn't, and there's other opportunities that we've taken now. So you know how do you cope with all of that? Like, do you have any internal mechanism itself to cope? I can tell you, in my case, I abstract myself by like not doing anything, just thinking, and I also lift weights. I found lifting weights to be one of the clarifying things in my life because you can only concentrate on the weights. If you don't concentrate on the weights fall on you and they crush your bones. So to me, it's a very relaxing thing. What do you do?
I do this. Look, I have machines in my this is my home office.
Yes.
But I like very much to walk, inspirational and walking. Um, you just walk without thinking. So you have the senses of smell. You listen birds. Can maybe sound too romantic, but it's very very good. Remember, I'm inspired today to from the most skilled medical professionals at the Cleveland Clinic. They say 50% of your cure, your recovery from a heart transplant or any other the difficult procedure is your mind.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
don't we don't accept we don't accept patients anymore for transplants that they don't have their mind in order, because what happens that the procedure is successful, but they die because the mind doesn't allow the body to heal.
Yeah. So what's in store for you for 2025? I mean, let's talk briefly about brand builders, because the other part, of course, of your surprising career is that you have a gold record and you have a branding company, and you've been very successful with both. I mean, L- LCTM or LCMT, I can never remember the first.
LCTM.
LCTM, brand builders is like all over the place. I mean, I see new people adding to companies, like all of the time. So tell me what's in store for you for 2025. Will you keep expanding internationally? What's the deal?
We have a very important partnership with the Nobel family. Um, Marcos Nobel, who is president of United Earth organization, is which represents the Nobel family. Remember, the Nobel Foundation
Mhm.
has no Nobels over there, but so we work together with them. But the Nobel Foundation, Nobel Prize of Peace, chemistry, and literature, they cannot have prize for environment, because the only prizes they can have are in the testament of Alfred Nobel, who
Ah,
created
yeah.
it. So they cannot have the prize for um, protecting the planet. So we do this on behalf of them, let's say, informally. We still don't have a formal agreement. So this is a big task. So we are now saving the planet, which is a very good, interesting.
It's a
I
good
don't
thing
like
to
too
do.
much of this
Yes.
because again, people think, well, but for example, we have my company has an agreement with the governments of Peru and Bolivia to save the Lake Titicaca, which we're going to do. It's a big task, but we are bringing resources from UK, Norway, the, the big countries, the first world countries. They have money to help. They have the moral obligation. They say, I'm not saying myself. I hear from them. We want to help, but it's very tricky because when you send the money to Latin America, the money disappears, doesn't
Yeah,
go to the end.
I know.
And then because at least this is a Nobel
Yeah.
foundation, Nobel system, very transparent. Nobel, we use a system called Delphi. Delphi is a system used by NASA to qualify and candidates for a prize and to to permit the 100% of transparency in the process. They feel confident, and so that's why. So in 2025, we are dedicated to save or to make the waters, uh, basically save the water of the planet. We have our partner in UK. We are in we are in several countries, and she lives in front of the Thames River. Is problematic now in the Olympic Games in France. The river sin was had a problem. They have to suspend competitions in the river because people are getting sick in Paris and London. Imagine in Mexico and
Oh yeah.
Honduras, Panama, and things like this. So it's a big task. It's one of the things that we are looking forward to come back to
Well,
go to the end of 2005 and finish this job and start something. Takes long, but we want to start things like this.
that's gonna be a good 2025. So just to close it off, because you've fired people, you've mentored people, you've been friends to people like me. If you were standing in front of a CEO of a major advertising agency or the CMO of like a large client, and they always make decisions. Like I can hire this digitally native guy or this digitally native person, whatever. Talking about age, what 3 words or 4 words, no swear words, would you tell this person, that CEO?
Listen to the more mature professionals that you think are useless because they're old, but they have such a experience, and don't rely in only rejuvenating your DNA of your company, hiring people that is too young because this is not enough. And I have many examples of this.
Right.
Today, companies are using AI, artificial intelligence, to select the entries for. So is a big mistake because there's a lot of intelligence and workforce of experienced people, 65 years old, 70 years old, like us, that are tested by pressure that young people didn't have the opportunity yet to be to experience the pressure. They have the knowledge, but the one-on-one, when the other side of the table there is somebody important,
Yep.
maybe you fail.
Okay. Well, it's great. I i would say the same words. Listen first to people. Don't make cliche decisions. So Sergio, thank you very much. I love seeing you. You look great,
Thank you.
especially for somebody who has had the kind of life you had, which a normal person would probably by now be like, whoa. But here you are. You look great. You're doing great. And we'll be in touch more often, I hope.
Can you say one thing more
Yes.
regarding this? Exactly what I say. There is. I am a very VIP patient for Cleveland Clinic. So they say, so everybody has a chronological age, which is exactly the day we were born. So I'm 71. But most of the people don't know that they have a biological age, which is when
They feel like.
they no they analyze the function of your organs. So because my heart is 31 years old, my and the other organs are pretty much okay. My biological age is 56,
Cool.
proven by science. So
Well,
if everybody had this mindset to okay, don't relate the physical and the chronological age to the biological age, because can be the reverse. Somebody can be 70 years old chronological, but can be 80 years old biologically.
Yes.
So have this in mind.
Yeah. All of my female friends tell me that I didn't grow up after 16, which is a terrible thing. So, Sergio, it's been a real pleasure. You look great. You behave great. I mean, like, I wish you tons of success. And, we'll be in touch. Thank you. Bye bye.